Okay, welcome to chapter 2. We've just finished the cover, and now we're actually going to turn it over and work on the inside cover. All right, in this chapter, we're going to use, instead of using this as a stencil, we're actually going to be using this as a dimensional piece that will be underneath all of the color mediums that we add to it. So we're going to be using just a little bit of book paper layered with some of this beautiful laser cut paper, and we're going to try our hand at getting some of this variegated tones using the color shine and the magic medium, and then layer it up with, again, some stamping and some foil adhesive dots. So are you ready to get started? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is grab that laser cut stencil that we've used, that paper, and go ahead and cut out a couple of your favorite pieces from it. We're just going to use some portions of it. This is seriously one of my most favorite products ever. I think that it's so pretty and so delicate. All right, so I've cut kind of one flower there. Maybe I'll layer it right there and kind of put it wherever you want. Let's see, I also really like this one up in this corner. So just kind of carefully cut it out so that you maybe get a leaf and a flower. I kind of like to cut that box that's around the edge off. All right, so maybe I'll like to put that there. Maybe that will look great in that corner. Maybe I just need one more that will go right there, and probably easiest just to kind of trim this little piece out. All right, now we're good to go. I kind of know where I'm going to put stuff. All right, now I like to always I think that adding some extra little book paper is a great way as well. So we're actually going to start by just tearing up some pieces of this book paper that will just be a little background to layer over top. So I'm kind of doing one along the side here. Doesn't have to be perfect, of course. And then maybe I just want a little of it there. All right. Now, once again, I'm going to, the great thing about the magic medium is that it acts as an adhesive as well as a mixative for the color shine. So I'm going to go ahead and just use it first as an adhesive and place these pieces of, oh, I had 2 pages there. Oh, no wonder, I ripped out 2 pages. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set that in. Now, it also is a sealant. There I am. So if you seal over the top of it, it won't accept color shine in it if you missed it on. So that's just something for you to know. But what we want to do is here we're just kind of using it to adhere these pieces. So you can see that I'm kind of blotting it on so that it will hold it, kind of adding some of it to the surface. It's kind of a double whammy. And I'm just going to press that in. You can add a little over it as well. And so you can see this looks really cool to have the dimension kind of popping up. So it's like kind of like a deboss in there. All right, so I'm going to lay that on. So I'm kind of putting a little of the magic medium down and then layering over the top of it as well. So you could also use a Mod Podge for this, or something like a Mod Podge. All right. Now, some of it can hang off the edge. We can trim that off once we're all done, as long as you're happy with the placement. Okay, now I just wanted to point out that I did also use a die cut word on here as well. And so if there's anything else, a die cut or anything that you would like to layer down that could be a dimensional piece like that, it also looks really cool. Okay, so now this looks really amazing. I think even just as is, it looks really cool. But what I wanted to do was go back with the mixture of my magic medium and the color shine, and this will create kind of an interesting effect. So there's a little bit more magic medium, and I don't like to mix it all completely together, as I told you in chapter 1. If you kind of separate it, then it gives you a chance to have some places that are darker and some places that are lighter. Now, what I want to encourage you to do is start out with the light. So kind of cover all of your surfaces with the light, and you can see here, looks kind of cool because I'm seeing some of that text paper come through. But because the magic medium is also an adhesive and a sealant, it's not only holding these pieces in place, but it's also a mixative to the color shine so that you can get this interesting and wonderful color. So watch what happens when I kind of pick up a little bit of that cranberry. You can see it just explodes the color because it's such a rich color shine compared to the blush. All right. And then, like what I just did was I added a little bit of color shine right onto it, which just gives me more color shine to the ratio from a color standpoint. And because it's wet right now, it will mix in. All right, now, because this is opaque magic medium, and I might want to just use a new kind of clean sponge for this, I can add this kind of like a white paint. It will give me some light colored flecks. All right, now we talked about this in the first chapter. You really want to dry your layers as you go, and then you can add more and more color. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this base layer. Okay, now that I have a nice dry layer, I can go in and use that magic medium, or you could use a white paint, and you can give it some pops of white. I kind of like this painterly effect, and even if you kind of tuck it around the flowers, it will kind of just add to that dimension. And then if you wanted to, fill in a little bit more with the dark, you can hit some of those high points, and it will give them some extra standout as well. So what I really wanted you to try on this inside was being able to get some lights and some darks, some really cool texture by way of that book paper, but also by way of the actual dimension. And I'm going to go ahead and dry that next layer. All right, now I do have a few pieces that are kind of hanging off the edge, and so I can kind of trim those up. Or you can also leave them if it's kind of your artistic flair. All right. All right, and then just like I did in chapter 1, I kind of went in with my ink and some little extra stamping. So this is a great time to take just a little bit of that brown ink and kind of ink up your edges just a little bit. And you may even want to add just a little bit of your favorite texture stamping. That looks cool there. All right, perfect. And then I have still some more left of my adhesive foil dots. All right, I like that, just little teeny pops of shine. All right, the inside cover is done, and so is chapter 2.